Hey YouTube, I haven't been on here for 3 years. I'm always on here because I'm a YouTube astrologer, so I don't know nothing. But last time I was on this platform, I was making videos for class. And since then, I've just been using it to watch astrology videos, which has been super fun. And I still don't know very much, but I want to use YouTube as a personal digital astrological diary that y'all could tune into if you want. It's cool if you don't. That's not what the purpose of this is for. It's to track my progression. Mostly I'll be just ranting about the little bit that I understand and talking about some interpretations about the little bit that I understand. I'm still feeling scared about that because I don't know. Can I speak power to any truth? I don't know, but we're gonna be trying. I wanted to speak about the Mars-Uranus square, mostly because I'm feeling super patronized and frustrated. And it's not even, I live in Los Angeles. I've lived here my whole life. But it's not because I'm a native Angelino. It's because it seems to me that when astrologers are speaking about a crisis, something that's happening in the world, a situation, whatever, we're speaking, and of course we can only speak looking from the outside in, but I don't know, it seems that there's definitely opportunities to connect with people that are experiencing the situation firsthand and really get an idea of what's happening on the ground instead of oversimplifying the situation and yeah, I suppose, yes, oversimplifying the situation. And mostly because we take the oversimplification that's like given to us, whether it's social media, the media, it's through other people, like we don't investigate for ourselves. And like I think something I've learned since 2020 is that it's one thing to investigate within an echo chamber, and it's another thing to really gain an understanding. And sometimes that takes time. Sometimes you can't do that in one night. Sometimes you can't do that by reading a fucking history book even. You know, I think that we lack the ability to give ourselves time to understand some things too, and then we look stupid. Something my brother-in-law taught me. What is it? When you assume you make an ass out of you and me? Like, let's just... You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling about this situation. So I just wanted to speak about my personal experience with what's going on here at home and the transit. I keep thinking about this square, the way that folks talk about eclipses and how we can feel the energies of the eclipse 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. And I'm not sure if that's appropriate to do here with the Mars-Uranus square, but that's what I'm doing. Because it seems like you could see the personification of the transit within the community. I work on the east side, I live on the east side, I work on the west side, and I have to commute like through the city to get to wherever the fuck it is I'm working at that day. And it has been something out of a book, bruh. I swear to God. Hearing whispers in the fucking air. I can hear my Latino community members saying, like, be careful. I'm not sure if I'm going to be coming to work this week. This happened to my family member, my friend, my coworker. Another person saying, I heard this has also happened, la 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 la. Just, what the fuck, bro? You don't understand what that means. Because one thing that the Latino community here is, especially the immigrant population, man, they be keeping their heads down and they keep it pushing, period. There's a lot of humble people out here, you know? There's a lot of crazy shit in LA. You can't deny that, okay? I got a tattoo yesterday. Y'all want to see it? Actually, I can't. I'll show y'all later. But I was talking to the tattoo artist yesterday, and I was like, I feel like we have an abusive relationship with LA, man. I fucking hate it here. But I can't see myself anywhere else. This is where I belong. It's fucked, you know. But anywho, there are a lot of, like I would say in Spanish, buena gente. Aquí tenemos buena gente. We have good people here, you know, hardworking people. And you see that when you move, you know, throughout the city on a daily basis. And I learned what that meant going to work on the west side. I really had never been exposed to, like, congregating with white folks in any way. Not at church, not at school. I knew some white people, but they were never like the majority, you know. And going to the west side and seeing white people being the majority, which is not the problem. It's not a problem. But what was dystopian was only seeing my people cleaning their houses, watching their kids, picking up their trash, doing their construction. It was hard for me for a while. I had to get over a lot of anger and resentment, you know? And because, you know, it feels wrong, but also we're over there to make a living. Me and them, you know, and whatever, little rant, but there's hardworking people here. And they have been talking about the fear that they have felt in their workplaces, specifically. And now with these mass deportations, it's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare for the people here that are afraid and scared for themselves. And it is a nightmare, I think, for Angelinos, Latino or not, because of how we are. We don't like to be pushed around. It's again, the abusive relationship with LA, man. Bitches always have something to fucking say here, man. It's always fucking something here, man. Bitches be putting up a fight here. People like to fight here, just like how they do in other places. Okay? I know other people know what the fuck I'm talking about. But what's happening is an aggressive reaction to feeling like we're losing our sense of autonomy as individuals, as individual human beings, because we're seeing our neighbors lose that autonomy. And we know that we got family members that be looking and talking like them. You know what I'm saying? And we've already seen the videos of like mothers, fathers, children, uncles, aunts being picked up, and family members around having to also deal either with the aftermath of said violence of the pickup, or being picked up themselves by Miss fucking Steak. It's scary. And I know that many people don't understand that. And I feel that that's also something that the transit is foreshadowing, that soon we will all understand this. I don't know. But it feels like appropriate to say that. Because, again, of how I've been experiencing what's happened here and how I've been thinking about the square, it feels like it's just an exasperation. It's slowly building. It's not a boiling point in any way, it seems to me. I feel like Angelinos here feel that themselves, that we haven't seen anything, not even on our side. Like I said, we could put up a fight here. And y'all be talking about riots. Y'all haven't seen nothing. And that's what's like, damn, man. I feel like it's reinforcing what I have felt in the last 2 to 3 weeks, that there is something stirring. Yeah, that's what it seems like, especially because people, I've heard astrologers talk about Mars-Uranus transits, squares, or conjunctions. I think some folks are mentioning oppositions as well. I guess any Mars and Uranus transit, that largely there could be correlated to war. And I'm like, I don't know. You don't have to have taken a history class or studied history in any way to know that there is a series of events that leads up to a particular catalyst that exasperates an already present crisis. I mean, we could talk about October 7th in this way. You know, it's and the struggle is collective. I say it all the time, you know. But that's why I wanted to talk about what's happening here in LA, because the way that I'm hearing the rest of, or not the rest, but, you know, a lot of people and a lot of astrologers talk about what's happening in LA is like, the mass deportations came, and then there was, you know, obstruction within that by LA residents, and then it all escalated due to like those altercations. I don't think that you need to be here in order to understand and try to, it's not about empathizing, man. It's not about a feeling, man. It's about an understanding. It's about, I don't know. Seeing how President Trump's comments about who we are as a people back in 2016 is why we're being criminalized now. It's all a series of events that must be taken into account. And even within just this particular situation, and I think it's important to not look at Los Angeles as an isolated event. And mostly because what I was trying to say was like what we feel here, I think anybody could say it. No matter where you're living, no matter if you're experiencing what's going on in downtown or not. we're feeling the exasperation between the dynamic between us and folks in power here in the city. Politicians, law enforcement alike. I think we're feeling the imbalance. We're seeing and living in real time the consequences of that. And I feel like that's what the transit is truly foreshadowing. That this imbalance and exasperation is only the beginning, you know. Hence me saying that I don't think this is no boiling point. I think this is just a little taste. You know, the water's just starting to heat up tight. That's what I think. And I say that not because of, oh, it's a Mars-Uranus squared a lot. I say it because that's how it feels living it here in LA from the inside. I appreciate other astrologers' perspectives, even though I don't agree with them because of what I'm living and experiencing myself. But I do agree with the fact that, like, there's gonna be a ramping up of challenges, man. You can see it, you know. But I think it's so important for us to name it correctly, you know, to not oversimplify, to not assume, to investigate, and take the time to build a narrative for ourselves instead of, I don't know. I don't think it's just about believing what the media says. I think we take the oversimplified narrative that is given to us and then create a stereotype based off of that. And that's not the media's fault. That is a laziness on our part. And we can do more to get a more well-rounded understanding of the situation. I think that's the only way that we're going to be able to actually face these challenges and build bridges. And that's the only thing I'm fucking interested in. You know, not talking about the fucking legality or I know that things are not perfect here. And there are a lot of things that happen underneath our noses that is wrong and scary. But there's also a lot of good people here. There's a lot of good people here that deserve a chance. And I don't know how, but we're going to have to figure out how to discern what the fuck is what. So hopefully I said something worthwhile and cool. Hope everybody stays safe this weekend. Peace.